Today we're taking a look at these NCAAB matches, which are happening on Saturday, November 12, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. St. Louis vs Evansville. The St. Louis Billikens are a very good team that could very well be bound for the NCAA tournament. That said, they are getting way too many points here. The spread of 26 points is likely based on the fact that KenPom has Evansville ranked as number 324 in its power rankings. That is giving Evansville and new coach David Ragland zero credit for an impressive win in their opener on the road against a favored Miami, Ohio team. That said, it is a great line for bettors, as you can take advantage of the fact that the Aces will keep this close enough to cover the wide spread. Take Evansville here getting the points. If St. Louis can put up 90 plus against Murray State, they can easily do the same against Evansville. Therefore, I like my chances in St. Louis and Evansville reaching the over. With 23 assists in their previous game, St. Louis showed they can pass the ball and make the right play to set up their teammates. I expect a quick pace of play for the Billikens to try to confuse and overwhelm the inexperienced Evansville team. St. Louis has hit the over in 4 of their last 5 games, after scoring 90 plus in their previous game, while Evansville has hit the over in 5 of their last 6 overall. The Purple Aces have also hit the over in 9 of their last 14 road games, and 13 of their last 17 against an opponent greater than .600. Take the over 141.5 points. Georgia State vs Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets played well in their first game and cruised to an easy win over Clayton. They will try to keep the momentum going with a win over the Panthers, which will give them their second win in a row and second straight win over the Panthers. Georgia Tech scored 93 points in its first game. They made 47.9% of their field goals and 35% of their three-pointers. Lance Terry led the way for the Yellow Jackets with 16 points and 1 rebound. Rodney Howard finished with 13 points and 3 assists, while Jalen Moore added 11 points and 9 rebounds. Georgia Tech played well defensively in its first game, giving UPN 63 points in the win. They will need another solid defensive effort if they want to get the win. The Panthers played well offensively in their first game, but they didn't shoot the ball well against a Mariners team they were expected to dominate, making less than 40% of their shots. They struggled from the free throw line, making less than 70% of their shots. Their ball movement also wasn't very good, with the team finishing with only 13 assists. The Yellow Jackets did a great job defensively in their first game. They were dominant on the defensive glass and won't give the Panthers a lot of extra scoring opportunities. They also did a good job forcing turnovers, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities in this game. Even though the Panthers will give them a tougher test, the Yellow Jackets will keep their offense in check. The Yellow Jackets also played well offensively in their first game, scoring more than 90 points in the win. They were very aggressive on the offensive glass, finishing with more than 20 offensive boards in the win, so expect them to get a lot of second chance opportunities in this game. They also did a good job protecting the ball and won't give the Panthers a lot of easy scoring opportunities. Even though the Panthers played well defensively in their first game, they will have a hard time slowing down the Yellow Jackets, so go with Georgia Tech to cover the spread. Take Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets minus 2.5 points. Georgia Tech is returning 8 of their starters from last season, but lost their top 2 scorers. They bring in dead-eye transfer Lance Terry, who shot 41% from 3 in conference play last year, while also shooting 80% from the free throw line. Terry went 4-8 from 3 and had 16 points in the opener. Senior big man Rodney Howard had a great performance as well. Tallying 15 points and 13 rebounds, he had his 4th career double-double. Georgia Tech should have a fairly balanced defense this year. Against Clayton State they had 6 players in double figures, 2 of them coming off the bench. Their offense is facilitated by senior guard Kyle Sturdivant. Sturdivant takes great care of the ball and was top 20 in turnover rate in the ACC last year. He had 5 assists and 2 steals in the opener. The Panthers lost their top 4 scorers of last season and will look to their transfers to fill the gap. They are coached by Jonas Hayes, who led Xavier to the 2022 NIT championship. He brings with him guard Dwan Odom, who was good for 6.4 points and 2.5 assists last season. Georgia State played non-D1 opponent Coastal Georgia in their opener in what was a largely one-sided affair, resulting in a 76-59 win for the Panthers. Sophomore Jaheim Hudson led the Panthers in both points and rebounds, tallying 16 points and 10 boards. Both of these teams bring new faces into the fold, but certain things remain the same. Georgia Tech has had difficulty preventing points down low, and Georgia State gives up too many open shots from the outside. The Yellow Jackets' point of emphasis on offense this year is to capitalize on second-chance opportunities. They crashed the offensive glass hard in Game 1, with Rodney Howard having 10 offensive rebounds himself. Expect the Yellow Jackets to have several multiple shot possessions. Georgia State brought more offense to the team via the transfer portal, and Odom will be able to get everyone involved. In their first game, the Panthers had 4 players in double figures. Georgia State was also able to force 15 turnovers in their opener, and they should be able to force Georgia Tech into bad passes, resulting in layups. Play over 138 in this in-state battle. Take over 138 points. Providence vs Northeastern. The Northeastern Huskies, out of the NCAA, are coming off their worst season in 15 years and just their 4th losing conference mark in that time frame. After a season of poor guard play, head coach Bill Cohen, in his 17th season at Northeastern, addressed the issue by recruiting a number of freshman guards that he hopes to incorporate into the lineup right away. He is particularly high on recruit Chase Cormier, a 6'2" guard out of Georgia, and hopes to throw the youngster right into the fire this season. Last season, head coach Ed Cooley and his Friars went on a magical ride that led to their first ever Big East regular season title, a top 25 ranking and a spot in the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. Cooley was able to guide them to a 27-win season on the strength of a team full of transfer portal success stories. Now in the 2022-23 season, Cooley and the Friars will have to start fresh with all 5 starters gone and just 3 seasoned players from last year's team. He will hope to hit transfer magic once again with 5 more transfers this season to go along with 2 new freshmen. Cooley and his staff are ready for the challenge as they try to repeat last year's success. Providence will take some time to sort out their rotation and may never quite get the magic of last year's team. One thing that was an issue in the opener that wasn't such a problem last year was the team's inability to shoot the 3-ball and defend against it. They should be able to take advantage of the young Huskies' backcourt, but are not yet a team that looks like it will be able to run up the score against anyone. Cooley will get this team in a good place by the first of the year, but this is a good spot for the Huskies to keep this game close. Based on their first game and the difficulty they had on the defensive side of the ball, the Friars don't look like a team that is prepared to be giving 14.5 points. Take Northeastern with the points. Neither of these teams push the ball when they take the court. The offenses are methodical and very patient to get the most out of each possession. The Friars are 294th in pace, and the Huskies are 334th in America. When we break down the numbers to understand offensive tempos, we can quickly surmise that this game will likely have under 70 possessions. When we couple the expected possessions with effective field goal percentage, Providence 40% and Northeastern 43.9%, we see that this is a matchup between 2 very slow teams that are not efficient offensively. This is like a first 1 to 65 wins type of game. Play under 130.5. The under is 5-1 in the Friars' last 6 home games. Take the under 130.5 points.